Hey guys, what is going on? Welcome back to Mark's Tech. So in today's video, I do have the Galaxy S23 Ultra along with the Galaxy S23 here, and we're going to go ahead and unbox them. Now, I will be unboxing the Ultra first. If you guys want to see the Galaxy S23 unboxing, skip to this time right here. Now, if you guys did pre-order, you do get a free memory upgrade. So this usually starts out at 256, but with that free memory upgrade, you go up to 512 gigabytes absolutely for free. And with that, you also get 12 gigabytes of RAM as opposed to 8 gigabytes of RAM on the base model. I am pretty curious to see how this green color is going to look like. So you do have this 100% recyclable paper thing covering the phone. So let's... hang on. I'm smart. Yeah, there we go. I did it. So this green color, yeah, this is a lot nicer than the online photos. It's not too green. It's kind of like it's muted green, but it looks really good. Like really good. And Samsung, thank you so much for keeping the matte glass, man. This looks so good. Yeah, it still has a little bit of fingerprints, but as you see, they kind of just fade away. So it's so much better than a shiny back phone, you know what I mean? And we get the phone up, and in the box we get nothing else. But Samsung always loves to do this weird thing where they actually hide the stuff underneath the cover. So don't think you don't have a charger, because you do. It's in here. And by charger, I mean the actual wire. You actually don't get a physical brick charger anymore. Stop asking for it. It's not happening ever. Samsung, Apple, Google, they're not doing it ever again in history, so you can forget about that. And here, like I said, you get the SIM injection tool, the quick start guide, and your charger right there, USB-C to USB-C. This phone is 45 watt capable of charging, but you know, it still takes a little over an hour to fully charge, you know, but it is what it is. For a phone this large, I'm actually really surprised of how balanced it is. Like when I'm holding it, I don't feel like it's kind of top heavy or bottom heavy. The weight is very equally distributed. And of course, we do get that new design where the actual bars are kind of more flat, so it's not as curved as it was before, which is a super good thing. On the bottom, we do get your SIM card slot, USB-C charging, a speaker, and of course, the S Pen on the very left. I cannot wait to test out that 200 megapixel camera. I love taking photos, and if you guys have seen the comparisons already, they're insane, especially the video, man. The Samsung really bumped up their quality with the video. It honestly shocked me. So let's go ahead and get this thing powered up. And while we do that, let's go ahead and unbox the S23. So I got the S23 in this new cream color. Let's go ahead and take a look. This is also 512 gigabytes. Again, if you pre-order, you do get that memory upgrade. So if I were you, and if you wanted that memory upgrade and you don't want to pay extra, well, you might as well do it now and hurry before the 17th. And here we go, the S23. I'm actually really liking this design. Is it very similar to last year's design? Yes, just a little new cutout, but it's clean, you know? It looks like a very clean phone. You know, the edges, you know, the borders, they're kind of shiny. But, you know, so is this one. But I guess the way it's painted, it's not really like in your face. But, you know, that just all depends on the color. So if you're getting a lighter Samsung phone, just know that it is going to be very shiny and prone to scratching and fingerprints. Now, this being the S23 Plus, I really do like the placement of the power button. It's not too high up at all. In fact, it's dead on perfect. And let's take a look at here with the Ultra. Again, it is perfect. I mean, I got pretty, you know, smallish hands. What? I'm just being serious, you know. It fits me perfect. So if anyone has smaller hands, no problem. I love it. Very clicky, very tactile, nice. Now I will be comparing both of these cameras to the iPhone 14 Pro, the Pixel 7 Pro, the Pixel 7. So if you guys want to see an in-depth camera comparison, subscribe if you haven't already. And let's go ahead and turn this phone on as well. Now, in terms of thickness, I'd say that they are about the same, at least when it comes to my eyes. Of course, you know, specifically, they are going to be different. Here are the specs of the thickness of each phone. But in terms of height, the Ultra is obviously going to be a taller device. So let me go ahead and get both of these phones set up, and I'll be back with you. So I just set up both phones and I did a brand new setup. I did not transfer anything over from my previous phone. The reason is because a lot of people, when they do that, you might have a rogue app or a rogue system file that's preventing you from using the phone as it should be used. So in other words, your battery life might suffer. So if you ever get a new phone and you transfer things over from your old phone to your new phone and you notice that your battery life for some reason is just doing a lot worse than what other people are experiencing, you might have a rogue system file or a rogue app. So that's why I did set it up as new. And also this does have the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 in both of these phones, and the battery life should be phenomenal, which is another reason why I did a fresh setup so I can actually test out the battery life. And of course, a video is coming. Now during setup, I did notice that the fingerprint sensor area seems to be larger. So each scan that I did, this little icon moved around the screen. So for me, that makes it seem like the actual sensor area is larger. So of course, you're not going to have any issues with the fingerprint sensor. I mean, it's Samsung. We know how good it is by now. When they first came out with it, it was a little iffy. You had to be kind of really spot on. But I mean, as you guys see, I did not have any issues with the S23 Ultra. Let me go ahead and try out the S23 Plus. I really like the way this phone feels in my hand, the Plus, because it's flat. It's a flat display, you know? So again, let's test out the fingerprint sensor. Again, no issues at all. It is really quick. Let me try tapping on it really quickly. Not holding it, just tap it. Boom. Yeah, wow, look at that. It works. Okay, I know. I'll tap it. Boom. You know, you get what you pay for. You pay premium, you get premium. Subscribe. Yeah, I really wish Samsung would get rid of the curved display. Now this year, again, like I said, that new border design, it's a bit more flatter, so you're not really dealing with that big of a curve, but it's still there, which is weird because this thing has the S Pen. So if you ever get close to the corners, the S Pen will just slide off the curve, you know. But if you with this, you're not going to slide off the curve. You're just going to slide off the foam, but you can control where the pen is better on a flat display, obviously, than you could on a curved display. So I really wish Samsung would just get rid of it, man. You know, it was good while it lasted, but now it's just like, oh, well, what are you doing though? Now, from what they told us, it seems like the S Pen is still the same as it was before, so you're not really going to get any improvements, but it's already good enough. Like, I don't know how you can get better than this for something that comes built into the phone, you know? It's not even an accessory. It just comes built straight into the phone. So for what it is, it's good enough to take notes, scribble, so on and so forth. Now, of course, new with the S23 Ultra, you do get that new 200 megapixel mode as well as a brand new 50 megapixel mode that we did not see before. So now you got the 12 megapixel or 12.5 megapixel normal mode, which is your standard 3x4. So this bins 16 pixels into one, which is completely nuts. Or you can do the 50 megapixel mode, or even 200 megapixels. That's nuts. So right now I do have it set to the 200 megapixel mode. Let me go ahead and show you guys what some are calling the shutter lag. I don't believe this to be a shutter lag. This is more of just processing. It's not a shutter lag. So let me go ahead and tap on that. Let's take that 200 megapixel photo. Boom. And as you guys can see, that little spinny thing, that's not necessarily shutter lag. That's just processing. The iPhones do the same exact thing whenever you go into the 48 megapixel mode. But if we take a look at this photo, I'm going to put it on screen for you guys. I mean, it looks really good. Even this is horrible lighting, by the way. This isn't even like good lighting. This is just indoor lighting with a backlight. So for what it is, I think it looks really crisp. And again, new with the S23 Ultra, you do get that new 8K 30. So now the crop is not that bad. So right now I'm going to leave my hand where it is. I'm going to try to keep it still. So right now it's at 8K 30, as you guys see. Notice the framing, right? So notice where the phone is in the viewfinder. So now let me go ahead and go to, let's say 4K 60. And as you saw, the frame didn't really change all that much. So before, if you went into 8K on older Samsung devices, it would crop in like at least this much. I mean, it was wild. But now it seems like it's not really cropping in all that much. In fact, I don't even think it cropped in, unless my eyes are fooling me. Let me try that one more time. Boom. Yeah, I don't think it cropped in. Let me try on to super steady. So super steady obviously reverts to the ultra wide camera. That's how it does on the iPhone as well. But in terms of 8K versus 4K crop, it doesn't seem to be cropping in all that much, if at all. Now on the S23 Plus, you do get a 50 megapixel mode. So let's go ahead and select that. And we're going to go ahead and take a picture of the S23 Ultra. Let me click to focus. Let me snap that photo. And then as you guys saw, again, let me show you guys that shutter lag, or what some are calling lag, but it's not. So let me put up that picture that I first took, and I think it looks amazing. The S23 Plus is definitely not a slouch when it comes to the cameras. Yes, of course, the Ultra is going to be better, but the S23 Plus did a bang-up job. All in all, my first impression is that the S23 Plus, I feel like, is the perfect size. I don't know, maybe it's the size, maybe it's the way like the actual phone is built. It just feels good in the hands. Yes, it's a large phone. Don't think this is a tiny phone. It's not. It's a pretty large device, but it doesn't feel large, if that makes sense. It feels good in the hand. No problems reaching up. Yeah, you kind of have to shimmy your hand a little bit, but the way the phone is balanced, man, I can't. When you guys buy this phone and when it comes in and you hold it in your hands, you'll know what I'm talking about. It just feels good. It doesn't feel like it's just gonna, fall out of your hands. I don't really get that impression. Even from the Ultra, I mean, this thing it's a flat screen TV in your hands, man. But even when I do that shimmy to get to the notification panel, it's not that bad. Yeah, I mean, by the way, you can do this. I'm just letting you guys know, yeah, you can swipe from anywhere on the screen. But the reason I'm doing this is because if you're in the Play Store, for example, you're obviously not going to be doing this to get to your notification panel. You're actually going to have to go up here. So yeah, I know from the home screen, you can do that. I get it. Even with this phone, it feels good in the hand. It's very balanced. And I do like that new design with the flat borders, but I do wish the glass was flat. That's just my thing. I know a lot of people like it, a lot of people don't. So it is what it is. So guys, that is it for my first impressions. I think both phones are amazing. And like I said, I really love the design of the normal S23 and S23 Plus. The Ultra is amazing too. I do like that new green color. But what do you guys think? Which phone are you more likely to get? The normal S23 and the S23 Plus, or the big boy, the Ultra? And again, if you have until the 17th to take advantage of the pre-order deal, you get $150 of Samsung credit to buy a case or anything. You also get that free memory upgrade as well, which gives you that 12 gigabytes of RAM if you're going for the 23 Plus or the 23 Ultra. So do keep that in mind. I will have a link down below. So let me know what you guys want to see in future videos. Go ahead and leave me a comment down below. I read all comments, so your comment will definitely be read. And that's it. This was Mark from Mark's Tech. Adios.